finished a road trip up to Oklahoma. We got to play 2 games. Got to win, 8-0, decisive win over Oregon State. I thought we played the best game we played all year. Bats went off well. Summer dominated in the circle and looked outstanding with both their drop ball, rise ball, and their changeup. And then we came back and played Oklahoma. Didn't get started in that game. We did just the opposite. We let them get momentum early. Hudek hit a home run, got it back 2-1. I felt like maybe we got momentum back in our dugout a little bit, but we come right back out, let them get a home run, 2-run homer, make it 4-1, I guess, at that point. At any rate, we lost. We got down 3-1 in the second inning. Pulled Summer, brought in Carrie, and she just didn't control the strike zone. And then we brought in Ellyson DeVille, who I thought was outstanding for 1.1 innings. When she went back out in her third frame, she struggled a little bit, which is to be expected. I think we haven't given her enough innings to expect her to go out there and just keep doing it. But I was really extremely pleased with Ellyson DeVille and her effort in the circle, and I was pleased with our hitters. I thought we made good adjustments. I thought the Juarez is Oklahoma's #1 pitcher, I believe, and I thought we hit the ball well. I thought we hit the ball in the nose. They made a couple of outstanding plays on Kara Grimion's ball in a warning track in right center field, outstanding catch, and then another single where they got up and off the ground and threw a strike to third. So disappointing effort to lose that game 9-1. At the same time, I was really proud of certain aspects of our game, and I think we can grow and learn from that. We come back home, we're relatively healthy. We got one player on the DL right now, and I think we'll get her back for this weekend. But overall, we're extremely healthy as a ball club. Pitchers are in good shape and ready to go. Our offense, I'm just elated with our offense and where we're at right now at this point in the season, and I think we're just going to continue to get better. I think coaches feel things that maybe sometimes the fans don't, and we're in the dugout with our kids. I think this season is going to turn out to be very special. We've got an extremely special group of kids in our dugout, and the attitude right now is really, really exciting, and I'm elated with our ball club and the chemistry of our team. So I'm looking forward to this coming week and open up the Sun Belt Conference for my second round through it, and I look forward to getting into the Sun Belt season and looking forward to seeing what the girls do in these 27 games.
All right, I got 2 questions. How much experience can you take away from playing Oklahoma in Oklahoma? And is it colder in this room than it was in Norman over the weekend?
No. It was a really cold weekend, but the reason you go on the road is you want to face adversity and you want to develop some mental toughness in your kids. And that's why we made those trips up to Baylor and up to Oklahoma to play good teams in a tough atmosphere. And when I think of Oklahoma, I think of a large crowd and a fan base, but it actually turned out to be smaller crowd because of the weather, but the weather was really challenging. And I thought our kids really handled the temperature. I didn't hear anybody talk the whole day about the temperature being a factor. I didn't hear anybody say it was cold. I saw some good mental toughness things out of our ball club. And so that part I think we got, and I think it set us up well now going on the road to Texas State in a meaningful series because it's part of our conference schedule.
I know that Texas State lost a lot, obviously, in their star pitcher especially. What have you seen from them on film? How they maybe look different from previous years?
Well, they're going to be adjusting to the loss of Rupp all year, obviously, but they've got a great coach over there in Ricky Woodard and Kat Osterman. Their staffs, they're going to have their team ready to play, and they're going to develop throughout the season, become a better ball club as the season goes on. It may turn out to be an advantage just catch them early. I'm hoping for that. But I just know that program, they're always tough, they're always competitive, and they're going to be at home, and they're defending Sun Belt champions, so they're going to come out wanting to defend their title, and I'm expecting to be a really hard-fought battle this weekend.
And kind of even piggybacking off of that, when you played such good competition to start, how much does it help to go into a series like this against one of the better teams in the conference and kind of keep that competitive edge going?
Yeah, Sun Belt's really a very competitive conference overall, and so I think it was really important that we get out and face the Baylors and even I thought Austin Peay, the pitching that we saw at Austin Peay and Stephen F. Austin last weekend beat a top 25 team 1-0. that pitcher is really good. And so I think all of that competition we saw with Oklahoma, Oregon State is critical, especially when your first two conference foes is Troy and Texas State, who are both really good, talented, and well-coached ball clubs.
Is that kind of, when you said, you just used the words defending Sun Belt Conference champion, does that kind of a little catch in your throat when you do that? And is there a little revenge maybe in anybody's mind this weekend?
You know, I've still got Kevin's article right in front of my desk. Every day I look at it, and I try to use that as a positive to motivate. And I think it's very important that we, you know, act before we talk. So I don't want to say too much. I definitely know we didn't get first last year, and I definitely would love to be first at the end of the year. But I think we got to keep everything in perspective and tip our hat to them. They won the championship, and as of today, Texas State's the defending champion, and it's our job to go in there and try to take that away from them.
In the past, South Alabama was the big rivalry. Can you see Texas State and y'all end up, you know, down the road 3, 4, 5 years, it becoming the biggest rivalry because of your ties with the state of Texas? And can you foresee that being something, a bigger rivalry than it's been in the past?
Yeah, well, they're in a great position right there. You know, San Marcos is a great in a hotbed of college high school softball over in Texas, and you've got that market of San Antonio, Austin, Houston. They're right in the middle of that triangle, and they've got a great program. They've got a great facilities. Coach Woodward is really, really a talented coach and been good. Her teams have been good forever. They're always fundamentally sound. So I would expect them to be, you know, really giving us competition, and the rivalry to grow, as I would Troy, because I think they're in the same position where, you know, they really are doing a good job at Troy. So I think these next 2 weekends are critical.
I know you wanted the road because you weren't real happy with how y'all played on the road, but is 3 weeks too much, or are you good with where y'all are with this such a long road trip?
No, you know, I'm really good with it right now in this circumstance because I think you go on the road once and you come off the road and you go back out on the road every other weekend. I don't think that prepares you like going 3 in a row and just getting used to the bus, learn how to sleep at night. There's a lot of things involved in a road trip. I think that it being a third week in a row is really going to be good for us.
Because the temperature was so cold in Norman, do you throw any of that out in analyzing what happened, or do you take all the good and the bad at face value as if you were playing in 70-degree weather?
Yeah, I don't think the weather had an effect on the game. I went back and watched the film, and I think the difference between the two games, the first game, Summer, she tic-tac, you know, she absolutely was exact in her precision, very precise in her location, was able to get ahead the count, stay ahead the count, make them hit her good pitches with a lot of movement. And in the Oklahoma game, she missed those same spots on the first pitch and the second pitch and got behind. Then she had to come over the zone, and their hitters are so talented that when, just like our hitters, if you throw over the plate, our hitters are going to hit it, and definitely Oklahoma did. And it was just a matter of her not controlling the count, and we know she can do that. I think it's actually good for Summer to watch it on film and see how good she is when she's good and how important it is to be good all the time. I think that's a learning experience for a great young pitcher, and I'm excited about it. I think it's positive, but I really don't think the weather had anything to do with it. If anything had to do with Summer's performance, I'll take the blame. California, we knew we were going summer and summer, and we had told her that ahead of time. Because it was a 4-game series, I didn't expect to go Summer. I expect to go Summer, someone else, and then Summer on Saturday. But when we looked at the weather and we realized after that game she only threw 56 pitches, and we were already in talks with Oklahoma at what the drop off, if it was below 36 wind chill, we wouldn't play the next day. And you know, when the wind chill was forecast was for 27, 28, it was pretty obvious we weren't going to play. So I decided to last second to come back, and I'll take the blame for that. I think that really wasn't, when I look backwards, that probably wasn't fair to Summer to expect her to be mentally prepared to throw against a top 5 team on that short of notice. And I think it's important to point that out that, you know, as a coach, I need to take blame for that. But I think it's things that Summer, the only choice she has at this point is to be able to study the film and see the difference between those two games, and I think it'll help her. She's a winner.
Gerry's had some really good outings and some really not good outings. What's been the difference?
When she keeps the ball at the knees, she's really good. When she throws the ball at the belt, not so good. And it's just simply with Gerry, it's a matter of commanding that zone, living at the knees at the bottom edge of the strike zone, and not being up in the middle of the strike zone. And that's true of a lot of pitchers, but that's exactly what's happened with her. And it's why it's a story of two different it's two different outcomes, and it's based on where her location is.
Raina so far, has she given you everything, obviously offensively, but defensively as well? How would you assess her so far?
Raina O'Neal is an outstanding talent, obviously, and she's just a sophomore season right now, so we've got her for 2 more years and a half, or 2 2/3 more years. I couldn't be more elated with what she's given us. I have high expectations for her. I think she'll become better offensively. I think she's going to become better defensively. But I think you're going to see a tremendous amount of improvement in her over this next 35 games.